I created this little demo here to help myself and now hopefully you understand these gradient size keywords. Things like closest corner, closest side, and farthest side. Each one of these boxes has a gradient in it that goes from really black in the center to red and then bleeds out to a very bright yellow. Well, I realized that when I had an ellipse that was centered, that closest corner and farthest corner were virtually identical, and so were closest side and farthest side. And what these words refer to is really the ending point of the gradient. In this example here, we're starting at the center and the colors are going to change all the way to the closest corner. Well, you may say, hey, all these corners are actually the same distance away, and that's why closest corner and farthest corner look identical. Over here, this gradient goes and changes color from the center to the closest side, which is the top, and then horizontally, it just goes to the next closest side, which is over here on the left or the right. This one here is going to start by going out to the farthest side and then to the next farthest side. Now, when you switch over to a circle, you'll notice some changes. Closest corner and the farthest corner are still going to be the same distance away, but here you'll see that drawing a circular gradient starting from the center and going to the closest side, that dictates the radius of the circle, and that never changes, okay? Here, the circle starts at the center and it goes all the way out to the farthest side, and then it's going to bleed outside of its container. Now, if we change where the center is, that's where things get radically different. So now I'm changing the center to be at 25%, 90%. So that means 25% in from the left and 90% down from the top. So now it's going to draw a radius from this position to the closest corner and use that as the end point going all the way around. Here, the farthest corner is going to be this one all the way up here. Here, the closest side is going to be the bottom right here, and the farthest side is going to be all the way out here. If we change back to an ellipse, you can now see clearly that the closest corner is very different from the farthest corner. When using closest side, you'll see that we go from the center to the closest side down below, and then the next closest side to the left. It doesn't bleed all the way out to this long side over here. For farthest side, we start at the center, go all the way to the farthest side, and then we go up to the next farthest side. Here's how you would apply the farthest side size to an ellipse with its center at 25%, 90%. If you're curious how this demo was constructed, this first toggle here is an input with an ID of shape, and the next one is an input with an ID of position. On the body, I have CSS custom properties of shape and position. I'm using the has selector so that when the shape toggle is checked, we're going to switch the shape property to circle, and when the position one is checked, the position will be 25%, 90%. Down below in my CSS, you're going to see that I have rules for closest corner, closest side, and all the rest. The background images with their radial gradients incorporate the shape custom property and the position. And for closest corner, we're hard coding in the closest corner value. Same thing for closest side here and farthest corner. I was really happy to be able to build this demo without any JavaScript, and it's my first time using has, and it was really kind of neat. And as far as these basic toggles go, I used this transparent one from this amazing collection from Olivia. I strongly suggest you check them out. They're a lot of fun, and you'll learn a lot about how toggles like this are set up and created. So feel free to play around with my demo, explore the code, and use it however you like. Enjoy!